So it's just gone 7:30 here in Mallorca. It's Friday, so we've been here almost a week. Breakfast opens pretty much now. And so I thought I'm going to take you through my breakfast and then also going to take you through the rest of my day just to show you what I eat on holiday without ruining the holiday effectively. So I just want to show you the meals that I eat, how I prioritize my protein, the things that I pick on the fly without any real planning or preparation. So I still hit the protein, keep the carbs and fats down. So plan for this morning is I'm going to take you to breakfast, show you what meals and options I've got available to me. I'm then going to take you and explain what meals I'm picking and why, and then we'll just follow that same approach for the rest of the day. Right, let's get going. The point that I didn't get to in that intro was that people struggle to find the balance between enjoying the holiday and not ruining the progress or your physique. What I'm going to run through today is a balance between the two, and it's a balance I've found that works for me. It takes a small amount of effort, yes, but there's no tracking or obsessing. It's just a framework of choices that run in the background each day. So the first element is my locked meal, as I call it. I pick the same thing each morning for breakfast as the hotel options are always the same. I have the option of cooked breakfast, cold meats, cereals, bread, and a fruit salad bar. The first couple of days I got some eggs, bacon, bread, and cold meats to kickstart my morning and to front load protein. Plenty of people going for the cooked breakfast. But I steered clear of that after day 2 because it didn't taste good, it sat heavy, and it's not what your body's used to, especially at the end of a cut for the holiday. Now, I get why people want their money's worth filling up on it, but nah, it's not worth it. It's high in fat, moderate protein at best, and you're just front loading a huge chunk of calories before the day's even started. Yeah, perfect. And that's why I'm being the boring guy here, stirring up my own batch of porridge, grabbing an orange and some hard-boiled eggs. Now on this trip I've brought some individual portions of whey protein, those sample pouches you can buy, with the intention of making these protein shakes as either mid-morning or afternoon snacks. My wife actually said to me, why don't you use those protein pouches in your porridge on a morning at breakfast and just make the exact same thing as what you do at home? And I didn't think of that until that point. So for the rest of the trip, I took a sachet down and I stirred it in at the table. Now I get that that's not normal practice, and maybe like me, you need to do something a little abnormal to make things work for you. And the reality is no one cared sat around me. If anything, it just sparked up a conversation with my daughter. Because then I can mix it in, and then I've got chocolate porridge, haven't I? It helps my muscles stay big and strong. And if I'm not having porridge, what would I be having instead?
Chocolate.
Chocolate eggs?
Scrambled egg on toast.
Scrambled egg on toast, that's right. There's only 2 breakfasts that I'll have. So that's what I've just started doing. Did it yesterday, done it again today, and I effectively just make the same breakfast that I do at home. So just changing what was going to be one of my protein snacks for when I'm out on the go. It's now just used as one of my staples for the main meals. If I didn't have oats as my breakfast and then added in the whey, my alternative would have been toast with scrambled eggs, and I'd have just gone pretty heavy on the eggs and then some cold meats on the side, and then I'd just called it a day. If there was Greek yogurt downstairs, then I would have had that over everything else because the protein to calorie ratio is much better. And I'd have just topped it with fruit, and then it would have been quite a light breakfast to start the day. But the only yogurts they have down there is natural yogurt, and that's flavoured as well. It was like strawberry, and then there was an apricot as well, which, yeah, fine, nice, but there's better alternatives, is what I'm getting to. So that's my breakfast sorted. Taking the orange away with me, so that'll just be a little bit of a snack that I'll have later today. I do have protein bars with me, and I'll be able to just tap onto one of them if I need it later on this morning. But the plan for the rest of this morning is head out into some of the old towns, check out some of the bakeries, see what there is, and go from there. So we're just exploring the old streets of Valdemossa at the moment. We're here pretty early this morning just because it's going to be forecast really hot. Mid-30s with a 3-year-old and a pregnant wife is not a great combo, and even I'd struggle in this heat. So frozen, dad backpack on, which has been the outfit accessory of the entire trip so far. But after that breakfast, we're just gonna roam these streets, have a look around some of the shops, and then we're gonna stop at a coffee shop that I've got pinned, try and enjoy some of the local pastries and bakes. And that's the whole point why I have a fixed breakfast, and then I'll have a little bit of a treat which will be where I've saved the calories, instead of having like the full English and the treats and stuff like that at the breakfast and going overindulgent on that one. Just going to have the pastries, enjoy the local food, some of the cuisine here. Coach holiday crews have arrived in a coach load, shall we say. 9-10 o'clock to get here before the rabble arrives in the umbrellas and all of the happy snappers. And there's me walking around with this giant camera and talking to myself. Rosetta was the spot on the list. A tiny place with only 4 seats inside, but an amazing view. So that's Valdemossa done. Had a lovely walk around the town, went in some of the shops, went into that cafe, had a coffee while at the the high of the day. So it's the hottest point now, it's 12:30, and that lemon cake that we had to share was just an example where we just have a little snack, just something to tide me over. So I'll have a protein bar that'll just go alongside it now, and then that will see me through the afternoon until the evening. And so that is an example where it's not a normal meal, just a coffee, a slice of cake to share and a protein bar, but it's how I just reduce my intake in the middle of the day because I had a larger breakfast, and then tonight I'm going to be able to have a much larger meal. Tapas, paella, pasta, pizza, who knows, we'll decide when we see what we see. But the whole point is that's why I'm pulling back calories that will then allow me a bigger spend or a bigger meal on the evening. And then I will end my day more or less on my maintenance intake. I'll probably be over, doesn't matter. I'm over for at the most 10 days. So this entire trip, 10 days out of a year of consistency, tracking, structure, routine, I am able and comfortable and allowed to have a week off just enjoying food. And even when I'm enjoying the food, I still follow the same principles and the same structure of just keeping protein high, pulling back on carbs and fats when I just don't need them, and then just allowing myself that flex as and when I need, because it's not every single meal. There is still structure and still discipline. So plan for the rest of the day is head back, go to the beach, go to the pool, see what my daughter wants to do, and just have fun. Just switch off, make the most of the few more days that we've got at the beach before we head into the city of Palma. So that's one fixed and one light meal ticked off so far in the day. Our holidays are often half a day for us and half a day for our daughter, and she wanted to be poolside this afternoon. So that's where you join me now. So we're back from my morning trip to Valdemossa, and now we're poolside at our hotel. Now we've gone bed and breakfast, so we're not all inclusive. I'm looking around at people's armbands, like ours is green, yellow is all inclusive. Most people are yellow. And a lot of families here. So we booked this hotel for the proximity to Porto de Pollença, whereas I know just from speaking to some of the families here and but just observations that I can see that a lot of families have booked this for convenience. And obviously with all-inclusive, you get everything covered for, and that was what we're doing next year for our holiday. We've already booked it, but I just went to go and have a look at the food that's available right now. The food options are hot dogs, salad, croissants, burgers, chips, and then there's a really light salad bar. Based on the offerings that are available, options are childish. That's the thing that comes to mind. When I look at that, I just see kids' food. There's not a lot of variety or options beside beige, cheap, quick, easy food. And I get that. I get the convenience. You're at the pool. You want something quick, easy, that is just going to fill a hole, keep the kids happy. But as a gym goer, you want that flexibility. You want that option of health. You want something that's higher protein, that's going to leave you feeling fuller for longer, that's satiety. And when you've got a routine and a diet back home, you want to be able to try and replicate that as close as possible when you're out here to sustain the physique and not crash, overindulge, and then pay the consequences of it once you get back from your trip. So if I was in the situation now where I'm hungry, I'd just be going out of the resort, going to the supermarket next door, and then buy what I need and what I want, do the macros and all of that, and stay on track. Then eat hot dog and chips, and then just feel the cravings and go back for more and more and more, because I know it's there, because I know it's free. I am purely, I am sure that there are so many more all-inclusive hotels in the area that offer better options for the food during the day than what this offers right now. And if we were willing to pay that little bit extra for all-inclusive, and food was a priority for us while we're in a hotel stay, then yeah, we would have booked and paid that little bit more and chosen a different hotel. But And so I'm probably giving all-inclusives a bit of a bad rap and giving a negative opinion on all-inclusive on what's available, but I am trying to purely base it on my experiences right now in this hotel. And it just isn't ticking those boxes. If we wanted to go all-inclusive, it would have been, I think it was an extra £450, £500, and we would much rather just spend that equivalent amount of money on food at local restaurants, at cuisines, bakeries, ice creams, all the rest of it, than be tied to a hotel that we're forced to eat and dine at for every single meal of the day. Right, enough of that now. Let's go and play in the pool with my daughter and catch up later for the evening meal. Paella tonight, so we're off to a restaurant for paella on the beachfront as our final night before we head off back to Palma. So that's going to be our one little final family meal that we can all sit down together, enjoy some seafood, some a little local, see if paella's actually any good, and yeah, make the most of one final meal sat down together before we leave the coast and head back to the city. The flex meal is the experience. It's the one you look forward to all day. I didn't film much beside the paella, which was average, but I'd already had a wow meal a few nights before when I got the seafood platter. This meal, though, is still an example as to how I have one flex to end the day, which is whatever I want or we plan to have together. On this day, it just happened to be paella, and that's it. That's the routine. One locked, one light, one flex. Every day, just 3 decisions in the same order. Now, the first day of any holiday is going to be a wobble. You've just travelled, you'll be tired, stressed, and you'll just be getting your bearings. But once you've done one day, you'll know what food is available to you and what works. So you double down on what does and play around with what didn't. Now, I didn't create this approach overnight. This is multiple holidays in the making, and I'm sharing this so you can follow or adapt this approach to fit around you. For me, this is now autopilot, the same as driving or tying my shoelaces. I don't have to think to go through this process anymore. The only things I plan are what my light and my flex are going to be, and they're the treats. So that's one day of my holiday covered. It's not perfect, it's not obsessive, but it's consistent enough that when I get home, I won't be starting over. If you want to build a framework around your life, not just for holidays, but for the whole year, 4 weeks of free fat loss coaching is linked below. The targets, the structure, the strategies for exactly these kind of real life scenarios. The link's below. Go ahead and grab it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.